Welcome to TJ Atari, and now I was just having a look at my channel. Yeah, 2 months was the last time I posted a video, 2 months ago, so apologies for that. Obviously there was the Christmas period, I was away for some of that, and yeah, any time that I've had for my sort of hobbies and obsessions such as this, yeah, I found myself going down a bit of a rabbit hole, which was a means to an end, but doesn't make me sort of very productive as a video creator. So what's it all about? Yeah, the last video I did was about the Atari STE. There'll be more to follow on that. Yeah, I found myself having a look at a previous project on the 8-bit Atari, and this was what was referred to as the TJ Games, the previous channel's title, TJ Games Random Game Generator. But basically what this is a piece of software that I sort of cobbled together where I wanted to make myself a bit more efficient in recording videos. I was also wanted to explore sort of random games that I wasn't aware of on the 8-bit Atari, and just have a way to streamline creating a few videos about this, and sort of making some comments on the games, rating them sort of good or bad. But yeah, kind of run into a load of problems, because what I was trying to do was I'm using a USB to serial interface and the RespectQT software to load the games. Managed to sort of perfect controlling that from the PC with a bit of software that was randomly selecting game from a library on my PC hard drive. It would ultimately load the software, load that game automatically into the config files of RespectQT and trigger that loading on the Atari. So how do you get the Atari ready to load? Well, I'm talking to it via the ACI USB keyboard interface, but not directly. I've been trying to control it from signals sent from my PC. In between the PC and the Atari, I had a Raspberry Pi. It's probably better if I sort of show this here. Very crude high-level diagram. So yeah, bit of Python code on the PC is sending signals, HTTP requests across the network to another bit of code running on a Raspberry Pi Zero 2W, I think is the model that I have. So that's Wi-Fi enabled, which was great. So I could plug the USB interface of that into the Atari, run a piece of code to put it into USB gadget mode, which will then allow me to send keyboard signals to the ACI. And this was great. Also, because I have an ultimate 1 megabyte in my Atari, I was able to send a reset key press, then I believe it's holding down the help key, releasing the reset, gets you into the ultimate 1 megabyte, and then I could send the C key to do a cold boot. So that signaling sent to the Atari could be triggered in conjunction with loading the game into RespectQT, and you've ultimately automated launching a random piece of software on Atari. So this is terrific, but as I was creating videos, I was finding the thing would keep stalling. Was it bad code? Yeah, probably. So this was what I've been investigating. I've been going down a real rabbit hole trying to work out why, after what seemed to be about 25 to 30 characters sent to the Atari USB ACI interface, the interface would freeze up and you'd have to reboot the Atari manually. So yeah, it was just niggling me, but I've spent a disproportionate amount of time investigating this because I just wanted to make the bloody thing work. The USB gadget mode on the Raspberry Pi is really clever. When I plug that into another PC, it's absolutely fine. I can type away, send all sorts of different key combinations, shifting keys, using F keys, whatever I want to send. I'm controlling that other PC's keyboard ultimately through a web interface or this Python tool that I've written. So it must have been something between the signalling between the Raspberry Pi and the Atari. This is what I've been investigating. The way the HID codes, human interface device codes, are sent, little sort of 8-byte chunks are sent across, and yeah, I've been all around the houses looking at the USB descriptor and how it's sent, but ultimately kept hitting the same brick walls, and various things I was reading was suggesting maybe not use that, maybe use something different, something lower level to emulate the keyboard talking to the Atari, such as an Arduino board. But yeah, I didn't really want to go out and buy something like that. I was, just banging my head against a brick wall because I wanted it to work this way. It was nice, elegant on Wi-Fi and what have you. Along the way, a very good friend of mine randomly bought me a birthday gift that I wasn't expecting, which was a Arduino Uno R3 board, with an idea to, I'd be interested in playing around with that. Also, maybe, trying to get my son involved in electronics and computers and that sort of thing. Might be something we could do with him. But I sort of thought, yeah, I wonder. I'm just going to get to grips with this and trying to understand, how you program it. And did a bit of searching. It's like, yeah, indeed, I can do exactly what I want. Was tricky because this thing doesn't natively support acting as a USB interface. I think there are other boards. Does have something called Leonardo board? I'm not that familiar with the Arduino. It's only this one I've played with. You can have a USB interface by default in this kind of gadget mode, for want of a better word. With this guy, though, it is possible. What you have to do is put a different firmware on there that some kind gentleman has written that I discovered on the internet. But the projects that I was reading and seeing the code for, they were controlling the device using buttons connected to the board. So yeah, a bit of a quandary. How do we send USB down the single USB port it has, but also how do we control it from the PC? How do we send the signaling? This is where I realise it's got a serial interface. So with another device, a USB to serial UART connector into the PC, and connecting the right pins from that into the Arduino, you can send serial communications. So all that was left to do is have a piece of code, put a piece of code together that can receive on the serial, send on the USB. You need to program that while it's in one mode, the correct mode to be flashable and also receive code. And then you flash it into this other mode where it's acting as a USB host instead of guest. I think that's the right way around. So yeah, when you're developing this sort of solution, you don't get it right the first time. There's a lot of flipping around between these different firmwares, and it's a right pain in the backside. But to be fair, I've spent, absolutely hours of time trying to get this to work on the Raspberry, and in 2 or 3 sessions, being fresh on an Arduino, I've got this to work. A few little quirks, shift key handling isn't quite there, but it really is enough, and it's stable. This is what the solution now looks like. Little image in the middle there might give a hint of the naming that I've used here. So I'm calling this something different. I'm calling this V.G.A.R now, because it's a very good Atari remote. It's not just the TJ Games random game generator. This thing does a lot more. And I was kind of a mind to, you've got an old retro bit of kit, and we're expanding it through lots of interfaces through the retrofitted upgrades, Ultimate 1 Meg, Aki USB, etc., to talk to other devices. So yeah, it just made me think of something from a sci-fi film I watched many years ago, which has kind of influenced the name of this. So I might change my mind, but yeah, I'm calling this V.G.A.R, Very Good Atari Remote. Moving on, so you got the PC there in the top left corner. That now is running Python code, which is now sending serial when I put it in a different mode. Talks to this little Silicon Labs USB to UART bridge that I've got. That's connected to the Arduino, and then that USB is connected to the Atari. Now, programming this, I think I got on the next page, is a case of using the tool on the right. We'll talk to it while it's in its normal firmware mode, and you can send the C code there. And then the tool on the left is a thing called Flip. Took a bit of fiddling to install that, get the right driver support working as well. You have to then short a couple of connectors on the board to put it in the right, what's called a DFU programming mode. Then with the right drivers that you've installed, it picks it up in that mode. This tool on the left, Flip, will then talk to it, and you load it up with this Arduino keyboard 0.3.hex firmware file. That will then allow it to talk to the device. You test what you've done, see if it works, if there's a problem. I then have to short the same connector again, use this Flip tool to load that second firmware file, DFU USB serial combined hex. I can then use the tool on the right again, because ultimately when it's in the USB keyboard mode, you can't program it with the C code. So back and forth, back and forth. I lose track of how many times I've done this, but it's working and it's stable now. So yeah, this is what we're doing. Okay, so just to add some detail here, this is the Arduino board that I'm using, Uno R3 board. This is exactly how it comes. There's no sort of extension boards or anything like that. And the bits that I've connected with these DuPont connections, so down there we've basically got the TX and the RX for the serial, and we've got a ground connection there. So those are going off. There's some sort of change of gender on the connections there, and this is the UART connection here. So you can quite clearly see what the connectors coming out of that are, where the ground, where the transmit, and where the receive are. So transmit to receive and receive to transmit. It's quite easy to connect that up. And this other one here, you see I've got this waving in the breeze. That's because what you need to do is short these two pins are ground and reset. So we have to connect those together when we want to go into DFU mode. Let's just plug that in there. So when we want to connect up to the PC and go into DFU, which is device firmware update, we connect that together. We plug this into the PC. It connects in that mode, so it appears as like a different piece of hardware in the device manager. Then you run flip 3.47 is the tool that I've got. I was just trying to remember the name there. To do your change of firmware, you've got obviously the USB keyboard mode, where you can then connect this to the device that you want to send keyboard signals to, or the other firmware is putting it back into the dual DFU, this mode that we're using for the firmware update, and the other programming mode is available to you after you've put it back onto that firmware. You simply sort of do the firmware update back to the original, then pull the cable out, plug it back into the PC again, and off you go. You can then update your C code. So yeah, very straightforward, but as said, lots of rinse and repeat on doing that process when you're debugging. Let's just demonstrate very briefly if I can. Okay, so if I open up the Python program, here it is. The interface needs some work. So if I want to randomly get us 30 games out of the repository, that's what that bit does. I'll probably combine it, because you then click this, which randomly searches through, what's this? Stitching Pokey game.atr. I have no idea what that is. So I need to click this new box now, use serial method, because if I don't click that, it tries to send HTTP to the Raspberry Pi that isn't connected anymore. But I've kept that code in case I ever resurrect the project. But I might actually change it so it defaults to having that ticked, because I'm going to be using serial almost every time. You have the game loaded there, and now I do auto launch. That's going to send the key combination to the Atari, and it's going to work first time, hopefully. Do you know what? It's not, because this thing is not actually plugged in. Okay, the serial is plugged in, but the device is not plugged into the back of the Atari. Just checking. All of the connectors are in there. Ground, transmit and receive on the serial are connected in. So I'll plug the USB into the back of my 800XL. That should just work immediately. I don't think you need to reboot it or anything. So I'm just going to go auto launch. There you go. It's rebooted the Atari. That has launched on another screen, Respect QT. And nothing. Oh right, yeah, no. One thing I've forgotten to do is I need to resave my Respect QT config using a different COM port, because we're using quite a lot of COM ports now. There's the Arduino programming one, and there is the UART. So where do I go for here? Oh, actually, COM7. It does seem to think. Do you know what? I'm ill prepared as ever for this video. I think the problem may be that the... Yes, okay, so my issue is that I don't have the USB SIO interface plugged in. I'm running out of USB ports on this PC. This is getting a bit drastic. I've got two front ports, and they're in use with the video capture and the serial, which ultimately means that this cable is not going to be long enough to reach around the back of my PC. Oh, hell's bells. This was meant to be a quick, efficient video. But the point is that once I am all cabled back together properly, that I can make quick and efficient videos using this setup. And I intend to do one tonight. Right, okay, so we are not on camera, but just, you don't really need to be, but I'm just plugging that USB extension in for the moment. And let's find, there must be some USB ports somewhere on this PC. Right, I hope this will just pick up that serial port. It's already on COM7, so I'm going to close that and just go auto launch again. And here's the magic working. Okay, so what have we got here? Stichting Pokey game. It looks, yeah, that's in German, brilliant. Spell, okay. Oh, okay. Let's go over here. Let's grab a joystick and press the 5 buttons. See if it does anything. Nothing. Okay. Something says escape. Right, so Tori's sort of off to the right of me there. I clicked the wrong thing. So I don't really want to reach down and use the keyboard, but what I can do is stick my cursor in this little scratch pad and go keyboard capture. And now I can set keys from my PC keyboard. So I press escape, nothing. Alright, let's try, I can't remember what F keys go to start, but it's 1, 2 or 3 I think. Let's try 1, 2, 3, nothing, 4. Okay, I don't know how you launch this game. Maybe press space, no. Okay, is the keyboard sending still working? It should be, because we sent the keys earlier to the to launch the game. Something about this game, let's just reach over and... Oh, okay. Keys are working, okay, that's bad. Something's failed. Oh, was I not in the scratch pad? Was that it? Keys are not sending keyboard capture. Oh, I'll just press reset. Right, it's working now. Okay. I can't hear any sound, so that might not be set up properly. That's unfortunate. I'm not sure if it's coming through on this video. We'll check that later. But, right, one worked. Right, that was number 1. Seems to be scrambling the image. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, joystick controllers working. Right, so yeah. So this is reach up the screen. Oh right, as I move across it, stop the first control. Just if I do anything? No, it's just something to do with the direction you're moving. Yeah. Okay. Is that it? I don't really like these sort of puzzle games in real life. I don't think, not that interested in this, but proof to point. Not sure if the sound's working. I can't hear it, but that might just be my problem. But I'm going to click bad, a bad game, and remind ourselves that if I click ratings database, I have this little table that I generate, and that's stuck it into the bottom there. I don't really rate this game, and that's all we're doing here. We're testing software and saying, is it worth a look, is it not, on no arbitrary scoring methodology whatsoever. It's just, you know, do I like it or not? Can I be bothered to play a game like that? There's a lot of genres of games that I don't get on with, especially in the 8-bit era. A lot of these sort of more text-based strategy type of things. Been spoiled with more recent games, which are a lot more graphical, so I don't really go for much of that. But yeah, hopefully this will now be a more efficient way of demonstrating it. So let's just do something else. Generate random file name. Breakthru.atr, so I'll click auto launch. Reboots. Starts loading the game. Breakthru. Shall we have this a little bit bigger? Not really interested in my PC at the moment, are we? Oh, there we go. I think this is a breakout clone. So, make sure I keep the captures on. Press and that key. Let's hope you're going to find the start key. Oh yes, I have. Yeah. Here we go. And there we go. I do like games. I really enjoyed Arduino 2 on ST, which is probably the one breakout clone that I played absolutely most ever. I think I've got a video about that somewhere. This is a very basic game. That isn't terrible. Yeah, I want a mouse, really though. Oh, joystick. I'm sure I just sped to the right hand. I didn't mean to. Start left to, I think. I really wish I knew if the sound was right. So I think it's going potentially through the. It's wired up, so it should be going through the audio capture card. I just don't think I've got to set up. I don't want to until after I finish this recording. I couldn't get that. Went for the ball, not the. Yeah, so playing Breakout with the joystick is never much fun because it's digital. You've got to do little movements and accuracy is very difficult. But this ain't bad at all. Is that my last bat? I'm not doing it. I'd love to at least complete a level, but I don't know if I'm confident that I'm going to be able to do that here. Almost the last few bricks, just getting the angle onto it. I think that's probably more difficult, the fact that we're using digital controller here. Ah! No! Oh, that's game over. Oh, that's disappointing, but I'm not really feeling it. I just wanted to do a quick demo here. But I'm going to be fair. I'm going to bring up my PC again. And we're going to say that's a good game because, yeah, graphics are okay. Played. I can have a bit of fun with that another time, so I'm cool. So there we go. Breakthru is up there. And that's it. That's what I'm doing. Look forward to doing a few more videos like this where I can cut all the preamble and just get straight into playing some random Atari 8-bit games without interruptions and hardware issues. Yeah. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see here, I do gaming videos on 8-bit Atari, on Atari ST, and also both 8-bit and 16-bit hardware videos as well. Got a few projects on my mind. I won't ramble on about them now. But yeah, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more. Take care everyone, have a great day.